We're now being joined by David Denny of the Friends of Venezuela Solidarity Committee in Barbados. Hi, David. Can you tell me a little bit about your group, first and foremost, the Friends of Venezuela Solidarity Committee? Why were you all formed and what do you do?
Well, our committee is now 5 years old, and our committee brings together a number of progressive persons in Barbados who are very supportive of the government and people of Venezuela and appreciative of the work that Venezuela have been doing in relation to its solidarity work with Africa, the Caribbean, Asia, and even with the Palestine people. So we in Barbados, feel happy to be part of a movement that is standing in solidarity with the government and people of Venezuela.
Now, David, obviously, I don't know how much of my previous interview with Ian that you got to listen to, or even if you've been able to track the program. We've been speaking about how the international media, a lot of international bodies have criticized yesterday's election results. China and Russia have broken the mold and they have supported the election results in Venezuela. What does the Venezuela Solidarity Committee think about yesterday's elections, how they were run, and what is your general statement on how it's on the results?
Well, we saw a democratic process in Venezuela, and we are very happy to see that two international countries, such as China and Russia, are giving full solidarity support to the Venezuelan people and to the government of Venezuela. We in the Friends of Venezuela Solidarity Committee in Barbados will work with other Caribbean organizations to show our solidarity with the Venezuelan people and to oppose any form of action coming from right-wing forces within the Americas, especially the United States of America, who will, be working towards trying to create the conditions for any form of action against the government and people of Venezuela. But we are very supportive and we will work with our forces within the Caribbean region to show that kind of solidarity with the government and people of Venezuela.
David, let's switch gears just a bit. You are in Barbados. Barbados has an election on Thursday. I wanted to ask you, what are some of the key issues that you think the electorate in Barbados need to be focusing on for Thursday's elections?
Well, the key issues in Barbados as it relates to the election would be related to youth development, the whole question in terms of dealing with the transport system in Barbados, the whole question in relation to health issues, the issues relating to being able to have free access to university education. The other areas will be is related to the whole economic situation in Barbados. We are going through some very serious times in Barbados.
Especially with the issue of foreign exchange. Really quickly, David, you all had a very unusual situation in Barbados where Prime Minister Stewart dissolved the parliament and then took quite some time before he actually named the election date. How has that impacted the electoral campaign, and what sort of results are you expecting to see on Thursday?
Well, the people of Barbados felt that that was not good for our democracy in Barbados in terms of dissolving parliament and then waiting for a very long period before you could call the elections. The people of Barbados wanted the election immediately because the 5 years was up. And I expect that the Barbados Labour Party will win the new government and that there will be a change in Barbados.
Thank you so much for that update, David Denny. We probably will be talking to you possibly even on Thursday about the election as it's taking place, because LSU is going to be doing some special coverage of the elections in Barbados. We were talking to David Denny of the Friends of Venezuela Solidarity Committee in Barbados.